First thing I want to do is read a little poem about a bookstore that closed on 25th Street over by the West Side Market. And that was a cool place for me. I really like that place. I've changed this poem I don't know how many times trying to get it right. I can't get it, but I'm going to read it anyway, because I promised it. As I crossed the threshold, I found a land where monuments came to life and ghosts sang, danced, told stories. The doctor's journal complained of corrupt roads that slowed the transport of medicine from Case to Oberlin in 1906. There were shouts from D.A. Levy's newsprint about Nixon Nazis in 1969. And I found Whiskey Island journals, words poured from the 80s and beyond. Through those doors, musicians drummed the beat while poets filled a cavern with a chorus now buried out of reach.
Hey Steve, get closer to the mic. You can't hear you.
Okay. Talk louder. About almost 2 years ago, Mark Huar put out a shout for blue collar poems because of the Ford plant, and I've been writing them ever since.
Hey, Casey, shut up!
And this is one of them. You know, each day you face that corrugated building, hunched under the assault from claws of heat and wind, scratching for entry. While you don't, because it's another day, where each breath of metallic dust lays on your tongue, clogs the back of your throat, already trying to stop the next gasp, which really doesn't matter. Just get that machine running. Don't be as sloppy or slow as the last day, the last morning, the last fucking hour. The pounding noise, disconnected bones, deafened hopes. Till all that's left is numb spit on the floor, being swept up with everything else. Someday when I'm a good poet, I'm going to write a rant like Terry Provost about corporations. I'm not there yet.
Terry loves corporations.
Yeah, he loves them dearly. More food to write poems about. But I have a little thing about business models. There are packs of ravenous dogs calling flocks of innocents into shark-foamed waters where gnawed remains float in the shallows. And those in mountains protect their ears from the sound of mournful tears pierced against the rocks, while reasonable waves roll off lizard tongues after they suck marrow, lick wells dry. While the glue dries up before the new models are found, and everything lies in pieces, washed ashore, where empty white bones remain. This one I don't really have an introduction for. I don't know how to place it anywhere. It's titled Farm. I love the way salt falls to the ground when I sweat. Lets me taste her, how she sustains me. Listen to day and night dance and pour lives into the next sunrise. Led down pathways to the other side of stormy weather. Through this town, those towns, by a course of heartbeats, bleeding side by side. We drag ourselves step by step beneath the yoke, our muscles twisted dry, yet songs cry hope, songs cry love, salting the earth once more. I love horseradish. I do. This would be good for you, man. Yeah. Really. I used to eat it with chip dip or laid on thick as mayonnaise with my ham and rye. It burned a hole in my heart from the fire of a retired old woodcutter who made it from scratch, served in quart bottles when he had the strength. Sometimes he'd have a beer, a whiskey or two, just to get the day off right. Maybe a couple more with my dad. Or stop by when I drove up that gravel road, through that cornfield, if it weren't flooded. Wouldn't speak much, high or morning was all. Then hand me a couple quarts of ground up root, ready for dipping. He made me a rich man back there in the hills, where more gravel is all you got for the road you're on. And someone, without saying much, not saying much at all, would shovel by your side. Now I know there's a lot of people that believe in peace and harmony. That's cool. I don't. I believe barriers cause friction, which creates heat to energize us and reach within ourselves. Climb over those barricades. Veins popping, sweat grinding away our efforts to continue. Now if someone nearby slips, reach out. Give them a hand. Out of respect, due a fellow warrior. There's a couple people here that I've had some conversations with, and through the course of time, and no real surprise to them, I'm sure that I hate rules. Those categories, those barriers of thought and action, I don't want them. I don't need them. I won't miss them. Now I know some can't be avoided. Gravity, for example. But being forced to march down corridors and make right turns when straight ahead is where birds sing, the moon strolls. It's those rules of man that aggravate me so. They have proven to be as true as the sun revolves around us on one flat continent. Not an event that created our horizon, which bends under the weight of universal truth and casts its shadow over all of us now. Now, 10 years ago today, and I don't really know the exact time, but it's right around the 10 or 12 hour mark, 10 years, 10 or 12 hours ago, I got divorced. And when Steve asked me if I would read, it took me a few days to do the calculations. So I wrote this poem. 10 years since we really, picked up that axe, split that tree. I replanted my half. Branch is still brittle after all this time. I've learned good soil is hard to find. Way back then, my head was spinning. Way back when, I prayed for my son to wake up again, to move. Would have burned my tree to keep him breathing. You better believe I made some promises. Some fucking demands. But I needed more than a shovel, more than any branch could offer. Still, he woke up okay. Sort of. Sometimes he drives his sister and me to dinner, where we all laugh. About 9 years ago, there was a picture taken of my daughter. I don't know who took these pictures. I didn't get them until about 3 years ago. And I'm guessing at the time when they were taken, you know. And I was at a writer's retreat, and I tried to write something there about the pictures, but this is what I came up with. Those dark eyes, that pale skin, Carrie a puzzled, not sure it's okay to smile look. At 6 years of age, you could see a woman, unblinking, aware, lurking in the shadows of trees. No blossoms, but lithe limbs stretched whichever way her brother pulled, without letting go, in case she tripped and her parents weren't there. He always was, though. They would fight lifting things, each other's things, and with an argument that's applied music to their ballet. She danced to his foolishness. Without hesitation, placed her hand in his to lead the way. In July, I got fired for the first time in over 30 years. And it was a new experience. And I sent a note to the boss that fired me, and it was like, thank you for being respectful and stuff. She sent one back saying, well, maybe this was the beginning of friendship. I don't know what she meant by that exactly. But it got me thinking about what friendship is and what I really have no clue what it is. You know? But I wrote a poem about it, and this is what I came up with. The breeze carries comfort, weighted by laughter, offers a steady, firm grip when one slips off the dock, down the sliding board, face first toward the puddle at the bottom, only to be grabbed by a giggling hand, nearly pulled off your shirt. Wished, really, the pants would come off, too. On the couch together, covered in nothing but smiles. Before it all changed. Not like seasons, but a tornado that whirled through and left scattered proof of where it had been. Not where it's going, or when it grows weary. It just picked you up, blew off that dirt, and sent you on your way. I feel real lucky that I've had conversations with so many different people in the last 2 or 3 years, and these are two of them. One is Mage, and he lives in Kent, and he's really a great guy and spent a lot of time with me. He called me up, talked to me for about an hour one day, and met with him one afternoon. It was awesome. And a friend of mine, Lana, who they don't know each other, they've never met, and she's from Russia to this country, and so but they both are saying the same time. That's kind of neat. So now what, my friends? Your words still tumble around my head, saying, live who you are. Accept those truths sprung from rocky crevices. It's as natural as melted snow. Understand the sun does that. We do this, and keep a firm grip when in thin air. Allow currents to tickle chest hairs. Cool skin with fresh liquid poured from crystal air that cures those solemn fevers. You see, there's so much to soothe. Places a hand-turned wrench can fix and set free on hot summer days. Ease those aches, tan those shoulders. Now I was taught the battle is out there. You two said it's in here, where one seeks deep roots, where shared moonlight sweetens tongues and lips. To sculpt what you are, use hammer and anvil. Let others see what was forged at birth, and know they can lay down on cold nights, heated by the bellows pumping within you. I'm just going to read two more. One is Beat. I wish Dan Smith was here because he's a good dude, and I wrote it hearing him saying it in my head. Never my own voice at all, ever. It was just always him. And I can't wait when he gets a chance to read it. But I'm going to try tonight. Can't you feel the blood flowing, the rhythm of wing beats, the sigh of dew-dipped blossoms at dawn? While the world swirls round and round, sailing through sprinkled diamonds, as dust explodes into a view that was then and is now still speeding forward. Don't you want to say, here I am? Aren't we lucky to sweat together? Man, those neutrino winds blowing my hair back took thousands of light years to get here, from the echoes of the pulse being electroshocked into life to cool my heated skin. And we stand here, feeling the reverberations in our toes, vibrates our spines, and energizes our hip bones. So more can sail on this wave before it crashes onto shore. I'm going to just read this last one. It's short. And it's titled Images. I want to hear open palms in the morning welcome sunlight. To feel heartbeats press against my back when faced by cruel winds. And have my tears caught by soft lips while quenching my thirst with one of her own. Thank you.